Hi, Tim Kelly here. It's been a cold, snowy winter up north, and getting kind of antsy to get out and do some fishing. Got started on yard work and straightening up all around the house so I can get some time out to go fishing, and looking forward to it. So let's always do a little video here just to get the season started on a woodworking project that I have to do, building a small cabinet, a medicine cabinet, a knick-knack cabinet, whatever. It's an enjoyable project. It doesn't take very long. It's not very expensive, and I find it to be pretty neat little project. So I thought I'd show you how I do it, how I join the face frames together and things like that. It's not going to be an in-depth. Most of the woodworking is already done, but we're going to show you the assembly process and the cutting and sizing it to the panel. Yeah, I hope you find it enjoyable, and I hope you stick around to watch it. Your biggest concern in using these tin panels, these replica tin panels, is they're all different sizes. You got some wide, some skinnier ones. This one would make a horizontal cabinet. And here's the panel that we're using. So what you have to, first thing you have to do is assess the size of your panel and cut your door frame accordingly. And once you've got your door frame cut out, you can then cut out the face frame according to the size of the door frame, and then make the cabinet box according to the size of the face frame. So it all comes off your tin panel, and like I say, each is different, so you got to make each cabinet custom. Well, once you get the general principles of cutting the wood to size, you can go through a panel pretty quickly. So we're going to take the measurements now and start figuring out what size to cut the panel. Okay, now here's a cabinet door that I've already finished. So you can see what it's going to look like on the cabinet face when it's done. Okay, the face frame is 12 1/4 inches wide. If we measure our panel on the inside, it's 10 inches. So basically what we have is the door is going to be 2 inches plus 1/8 of an inch on the side for expansion and contraction. So we're going to make our, on this particular cabinet, the door is 12 1/4 inches wide to accommodate the 10-inch panel. Our new cabinet is going to be 12 1/2 inches wide. So if we add 2 1/4 inches to that, we're going to be 14 3/4 inches in total width. Alright, here we are. This is the lumber that you'll need for the project. And this is what makes the project unique is the tin panels that I use to make each panel unique. We'll start measuring and sizing the wood up here, and we'll go from there. Okay, I always lay out my wood first to pick out the best faces and to get the best look when you're what your final project's going to look like. I lay it out so the grain matches. This all came from the same piece of oak. And it's all nice clear wood, pretty matching grain. This is the face. This is the door frame, which always gets the best wood because you can see it from the inside and the outside. This wood here will be the face frame wood, and it's only viewed from the front. As you can see, or if you can see on the camera, I can't tell. This has a white strip up on the corner of what must be sapwood. So I'll put that piece inward, leaving the nice red oak face out. And the other piece you'll never see because it'll be nailed to the cabinet, and except for going on the inside, you'll never see it. And this piece of wood here, very nice piece of wood, but it has a tear out from the planing operation. That will also go in up against the face frame, and no one will ever see it again. So that gives you the best use of the wood you have, taking into account any defects or changes in color you might have. There's no use throwing away a good piece of wood because a small defect, if you can use the wood wisely, no one will ever know. I start by finding the best two edges on all four of my face frame, my door frame pieces, and make a 45-degree cut on that end. That way any bad material can be taken off the other end when you bring it to length. There's your 45s. So we piece them together and make a nice corner. Now we'll go back and measure for overall length and come back and make a rough cut. Now I'll bring the overall length of the short pieces in first, and you can lay them on the panel and get a good estimate as to their length by meeting them up with the corners. I draw a line on, giving my orientation of the 45, and then I'll go cut them large, bring them back, and start getting some finished measurements, and then recut them. Now with the two short pieces cut at the length, take the mirror buffs off. You can now cut the two long pieces to 18¼ inches. Okay, after 4 or 5 trips back and forth to the chop saw, we have the frame all cut out, or the door all cut out. Now we're ready to move on to the face frame. Cut that slightly larger. Same processes. Okay, now there we have face frame and the door frame all cut out and ready to be glued together. Okay, all the milling is done now. The cabinet and face frames are rough fitted together. And over here we have the cabinet body rough fitted together. Now we're going to go over and sand. It's very important to sand it before you assemble, so you can sand all the inside edges and things you can't get to once it's assembled. So we're going to go over and spend about 2 hours sanding, and we'll get back to you. Now, one of the things I like to do when I'm assembling a face frame is to reinforce the joint of the door frame, because there's a lot of stress opening and closing these doors over the years, and just the glue will fail. I've used biscuits in the past, and I've used splines, and today I'm going to use a dowel pin across the joint to strengthen it. One of the tricks I use is to blacken the end of the dowel with a little bit of heat. And this gives you the illusion of a contrasting wood when you finish the cabinet, and it just gives it a little trick look that adds that little distinctive touch that makes it all your own. A little dab of glue, a little gentle persuasion, and there you go. Now your joint has a decorative little pin in each corner. It gives it that little distinctive look. Okay, now here's the box, completely machined, sanded, glued and pinned, all ready to go. Now all we have to do is pick out a stain, add our hinges and hardware and our door latch, and we'll be good to go. So as soon as I let all the dust settle in the workshop, we'll go ahead and stain it. We have to pick out a stain yet. We're probably going to stain this one dark, maybe a walnut. We'll have to see. So that's our next step. We'll be staining.